Early in the morning,
What's going on, people? It's your boy Cam Topical Juice, and I'm currently in Bali right now. So there's going to be a little bit of distractions. There's going to be a little bit of noise in the background. You can hear some water flowing. You're probably going to hear some hotel guests walking past. But listen, this is dedication to the craft. I told Paul that I was going to be reacting to the show. I told you lot I was going to be reacting to the show. So as you can see from the title, we're going to be watching and reviewing. Sorry, not reviewing. We're going to be reacting to Paul Bridges' new show, Calculated Couples. So this is episode 1. Episode 1 is 55 minutes, guys. This is a lot of work, man. I can't even lie, man. I'm tired still. I've had a long day. I've been up since 1 a.m. It's currently 10:15. I did some mountain hike. I literally climbed up the top of a mountain, and it was a lot, but I'm not going to do no waffling. I don't even want to waste no time. Thank you for tuning in. This video is going to be over an hour. If you stay to the end, you're real ones. If not, it's all good. I appreciate the view anyway. So like the video, let's get into this, man. Comment, subscribe, all of that. Let's go. Episode 1. Let's see what this is, man. Let's see. Hopefully it's real couples, unlike Blue Therapy, but boy, I'm going to be watching. Paul told me they're real couples, but I'm going to be watching. Let's go.
I've reached out to a few real couples to get some real advice to learn about real love and relationships.
You know what? I don't know how honest you're trying to be.
He cheated first, but I didn't know. Then I cheated. Then found out that he's been cheating.
I feel like I don't really fit in.
What are you talking about? Say that again.
Obviously, I'm a beautiful woman.
Okay, look, guys, this is my problem with women.
You know, you don't always have to have sex with people to show your affection to them.
When last did you go to church?
It's a really good question.
Who's your pastor?
That's an even better question.
But I can marry her today.
Paul's gonna kill me this show. Still. I can't even lie.
My actions show I'll ride for you, whatever.
Let's get into this, boy.
As a pastor, it's nothing good to want to be under a pastor that's poor.
Obviously, I still found black girls attractive.
So you say you could walk all over them?
Too easy, to sleep with them.
Eh?
At what point in the relationship did you get the BBL?
Honestly,
Don't say in Ghana.
in Ghana.
Jesus Christ, why would you say that? You're getting me upset now.
She's actually...
Wait, what's wrong with that?
No, what?
Why are you triggered?
This show includes real couples offering advice. Their viewpoints may not apply to all, but the show aims to promote healthy discussions about relationships. Okay, let's get into
You know
this.
they say, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Well, boy, God must have laughed at me a lot of times, because being here today was not any of my plans in the past, but obviously we're here now, and I'm documenting my journey. I have had, success. I've had good days, bad days, but where I've actually, technically speaking, been lagging is the relationship aspect of it, and that's basically why I'm here. I feel like I have a traditional approach to relationships, whereas nowadays things are a tiny bit different. Back in my day, a city girl is a girl that actually had a job, worked in the city. Nowadays, a city girl doesn't have a job, and yeah, I feel like it's just unacceptable. I feel like I don't really fit in. So what I've done is I've reached out to a few real couples to get some real advice to learn about real love and relationships. So guys, I hope you can support me on this journey. Stay tuned and let's see how it goes.
Calculated Couples, you know.
Last time that I was on screen, I got so much love. I'm talking about the blogs, the people, news articles. However, on this journey, I actually decided to speak to a couple that have actually come from Love Island, and apparently they found love there.
Why is Topical Juice not on there, Paul?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thanks. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
The reason why I actually called the both of you to come is because, I was watching you on the big screen, Love Island. To be honest, I didn't watch the full I didn't watch any episodes, to be fair. I just thought, let me reach out to you guys to see if you'd be open to kind of giving me advice on how to sustain a relationship, if that makes sense. And normally, I'd usually ask, okay, how did you get here? How did you start dating? But to be fair, I kind of know, because you were both on Love Island, right?
Yeah.
So, what I want to do is I want to get into your past relationships.
Yeah.
You understand? They say your experiences make you who you are. So what was your experience, relationship-wise, before you got into the villa?
I've been in a couple of relationships. My most recent one I was in for just over 3 years. So yeah, before going in, I was always a relationship type of person.
Was you?
Well, just before I was, outside enjoying.
Right.
But before that, I was.
We know
in
she cheated.
relationships. But yeah, all my relationships, they ended for one reason or another. I did cheat in one of them.
Oh, he cheated as well.
But she knows this. One of the first conversations that we had. But that was when it was like on and off. So it was kind of ending anyways. But I was young. I was not really in a good place to be in a relationship back then. But now I am growing up now.
And yourself?
I would say the same actually. Like I was in relationships all the time basically, and I had 3 relationships, right? And I went from one to the other one. Like when I was going to the next one, I already knew that this guy is probably going to be the next one. But I was telling myself in my head, like, oh no, he's just a friend. But I already knew the vibes.
Jesus.
But mine ended because they cheated on me. But the last one
Mind out for the friends.
For I think 3 years. I cheated on him, and he cheated on me.
Who cheated first?
He did. But this is the gag. So he cheated first. This is where the gag is. He cheated first, but I didn't know. Then I cheated. Then found out that he's been cheating.
So why did you cheat if you didn't know he was cheating?
I cheated because he was suffocating me. He was suffocating me but that's not the thing. Is there's no actual reason for why I cheated, because I was already out of the relationship in my head.
Just leave.
I checked out. I was single. The way I was acting outside, I was already out of that relationship,
So
right?
You wasn't officially single.
Definitely not. But that's what led me to the cheating.
I feel you, Paul, bro. I feel you.
But there's no actual reason, because I could have just left the relationship, but I just couldn't. I don't know what it was. I just couldn't do it.
This leads to. I thought you cheated. I thought you cheated because you found out he cheated.
That's what I think.
So you took him back.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. I was with him for a very long time, and I found out a few things, and then I'd forgive him. But then there was a time where I did find out, and I did it to him. So yeah, that was very.
After God for your very.
I mean, she's been toxic. I mean,
But babe, he had to feel that. But then after I did that, there was no value in it, because yeah, I got him back, but he's already done it to me, and then now I'm a cheater as well. So it didn't help in the end.
Sounds like there's a lot of cheating happening between the both of you. Do you have fears that any of you could cheat on each other?
No.
No. The first conversation we had when we first met each other on Love Island was airing everything out, which was really weird. It was very, very weird, because me in my past relationships, I was not honest at all. Like, nobody knew, and he knows this. I wasn't honest. Like, you would not know anything. Yeah. But when I met him, I don't know what it was. Like, I was just like, listen, if this will end up working,
You gotta know everything.
I'm gonna just tell you everything. I was like, I've cheated before. I was outside. I was a player. Like, I was the captain outside.
How it happened, and it was like.
And then he told me
the same thing. Like, I cheated. For this, I was having like meaningless hookups, like going out, just having fun, sort of thing. So I felt like the fact that we was honest with each other from the get-go.
You didn't have to tell me that.
We didn't know anything about each other. I could have been like, let me find out if she's actually a right person before I start being honest. But I just felt like being honest with her straight away.
Because I could have told you that, and then you could have been like, oh, listen. And you could be like, oh, I've never cheated. And then you could have felt really weird, but at least I would have just told you the truth. And that was the first time I've ever been honest. First time.
I'm not into double standards, being a hypocrite. You have to be able to date yourself. So if you cheated, if you've done someone wrong, you have to be willing to date someone that's done the same thing that you've done. So Paul, I'm telling you, take this advice.
Do you know what, yeah? I was saying this to my friends when I came back. I was like, guys, you should try being honest, you know?
It works.
It actually, you feel so much better, because I'm not, every time my phone is left, I'm not thinking, oh my God, did I delete this? Did I put the notifications off? Like, I feel fine. I can breathe.
People before.
Yeah, like, you just feel like you can breathe, because he knows everything. If something comes up, yeah, let's talk about it, babe. This is what happened. This is the person. At least you know there's no embarrassment if he knows everything. So, yeah.
Now, there's another key thing that you said, apart from the cheating, you said, whenever you go into a new relationship,
yeah,
you know who the guy is.
Yeah, it's very bad. It is very bad.
Yeah,
very bad. That means the person was there.
That's not good.
Yeah.
So already there's a big issue. But at the time, to me, it really seemed like I was convincing myself that was That's just a friend.
I had to rescue her.
He's just a
I
friend.
had to rescue her from the streets.
I feel like people always, go round and round in circles looking for the love of their life, basically. And to be honest, from my own experience, sometimes the person that you need and that you actually will fall in love with might actually be in your friend book, might be someone in your friendship circle. So I would look within before looking outside. That's my advice.
Honestly, make sure
I was
that girl's
telling
got no
myself that's
friends,
just a
boy.
friend, and then I knew, in the back of my head, this is the next one. And really and truly, it was the next one. It was the next boyfriend.
Okay, so if that's the case, then do you have male friends now?
I have 2 male friends.
Shaq, watch
And
out
I've
for
told
them.
him these are my only 2 friends. If you see anybody else, they're just people I know of and can say
Well, I'm
hi
probably
to, but we're
cheating.
not friends. Because I feel like with male friends, if I know that if I flirted with them and gave them a chance to sleep with me, they would, then they're not my male friend. But the 2 that I have,
A lot of men would.
they're like
Give them the chance, they won't.
brothers. They would be so disgusted, honestly.
I've met them as well.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I know you're giving me advice, but at the same time, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with girls having male friends, but if you have a track record of sleeping with them, that's an ick to me.
That's what I'm saying.
And I don't think you should be taken seriously, in my
I
opinion,
agree.
respectfully, because if you can sleep with your male friends and you still have those same male friends, then me too, why can't I be your friend?
Obviously, I've heard them.
Alright, I'm just gonna pause it there. So I agree. So I've always said, it's very important. I've actually done videos on this before. I think it's imperative that men and women have friends of the opposite sex. I have so many female friends, it's a joke. Like, I seriously, a lot of friends, and the next woman in my life has to be comfortable with that. So I've got no problem with Tanya having male friends at all. She can have 100 male friends. The problem is, she deep down, she knows they're not just friends. She knows that there's probably gonna be something in the future. That's where the difficulty lies. So you need to make sure that you keep one eye on that girl there, because she ain't allowed no new friends.
About them, and I was like, all right, cool. And I met them, and we get along really well, and we're cool. And I have one female friend.
One female friend. Where?
This is Pastor Onyeka Power,
Oh, it's this guy.
Senior Pastor of Eternal Life Ministries UK. Me and my wife, we normally run marriage seminars. So it's only right we give what we have received. According to Proverbs chapter 3, verse 27, do not withhold good from those who deserve it when it is in your power to act.
Hi there, Pastor and Pastor. It's a pleasure to meet you too. The reason why I've actually called you here today is because I wanted to actually get advice, relationship advice. I want to know what it takes to sustain a successful relationship.
Yeah.
And the reason why I reached out to both of you specifically is because recently I came across a viral clip. So you both have marriage seminars, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, guys, I don't even want to talk too much. When I came across this clip, do you know what? Let me just show you the clip. Have a look at this.
You must be very careful, you know, because a lot of people have dated the man that's meant to introduce them to their husband.
Right.
It's not everyone that you find attractive you must date. Wow. My business always after you. Very, very important. You must. Some of you have dated the man's. Oh, God.
Oh.
Be careful that you don't date. Be careful that you don't date the connector and you miss the connection.
Say the connector, and you miss the connection.
I said, be careful that you don't date the connector and you miss the connection.
Wisdom. Dear
Not
killing
every
me.
woman that you see that you find out you must date. Some of them they're meant to be your prayer partner. But because people are craving for marriage and I want to settle down, nothing wrong with that. But be careful. Because if you date somebody and it doesn't work out, even if they're the connector, I don't think they'll connect you.
Connection failed. So, you know, obviously, I reached out to both of you, and I wanted to kind of get to know more about you, but also try to gain that wisdom as well.
All right.
If you don't mind, please, could you tell me how you two, met and how this started, really?
Before we tell you how we met, let's pray.
This guy's killing me.
Father, we thank you for today.
Thank you, Lord.
We disappear for you to appear.
Yes, Lord.
We decrease for faith increase in us.
Yes, Lord. You see, Paul, there is nothing more powerful and beautiful than having a husband that prays. What is prayer? Man partnering with God so God can come into the affairs of man.
So they're serious.
So
this ain't
as
like a joke. Because they're actually serious.
Prayerful, you're setting the foundation right for your home. And if you can
I knew
be
they were serious. People were telling me in my comment section, oh, it's a joke thing, it's a joke thing. No, these are
just like
serious.
I love my husband, and I pray that she will even love you more. So prayer is everything. I'm in the right place because I have a man that can pray. So I'm happy, I'm protected, I'm secured. Why? Because God is working for me through my husband.
Each to their own, boy.
I take active control today.
Yes, Lord.
Whatever we do today may glorify your name.
Amen.
We step out for you to step in.
Yes, Lord.
We disappear for you to appear.
Yes, Lord.
In the name of Jesus.
I don't know why this guy's killing me. This guy's killing me.
So, how would you like to start?
Let's go.
Of, like, your journey.
This story is always very interesting, and I love talking about it because we met in a church. I was already serving in that church for over 9 years, close to 10 years before Prophet came. So I was a minister then, and I was serving in church. So Prophet came through our Bishop Emmanuel Owusu-Ansah. So when he came, it wasn't like, you know, some people, when you see a man, it's like, ooh, this guy, you start eyeing them and stuff like that. But when I saw him, I just saw him as, you know, a young man that is on fire for God, because that's how Bishop introduced him to the church anyway. And that was it. From there, we became friends. I was doing a radio show, and once in a while, I'll feature him on my radio show. Then from there, our bishop recommended that we start a youth ministry, and he was leading the youth ministry, and I was assisting. So it was purely ministry. It was like a brother and a sister kind of relationship, and then the rest was history.
How long did that relationship last? So just the friendship, how long was that for?
We was not friends for too long.
Yeah.
You know, so what happened was, like she said, you know, when I came, I was already in ministry, and she was already in ministry. So when I came, you know, I believe that it was the next, you know, phase of my ministry. And I believe that for me to get to another dimension, there was a man called Bishop Ansah I need to connect to, because I know that how every blessing comes from God through men, to men. So I understand that, you know.
Sorry if it's loud in the background, guys. I can't even. I'm struggling to hear myself. There's water running.
Do well in life. Wisdom, you know, that's how life is. You know, you need a man. No, you need a man. So when I now came to the ministry, I saw my wife, and you know, at that time she was you know, engaged. At that time she was engaged. Engaged. And so already, you know, my eyes could not have gone there, even if he wanted to.
Because I had my ring on.
She had her ring on. Had her ring on. You know, so, you know, I just saw her as a, you know, a woman of God. And at that time, she was leading the media department. But she was a pastor when I came. She was a pastor when I came. So we just
there goes she anyway, man. That man.
So we got more closer when I started leading the youth ministry. And then she was my assistant. So by the time we realized, less than 3 months in, you know, we believe that how the relationship, you know, can, you know, move from just friends to now, you know, something that can now end up into marriage. See, Paul, if I be honest with you, I made sure I prayed before I even made a move. Because the Bible says that how trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, and then He will order your steps. So I made sure that God ordered my steps. I know she was engaged, so I'm not saying that go and chase somebody's wife, but make sure you're led by God, because God makes no mistakes. But before that, she has already made up in her mind to break up with her fiance. Yeah, it's just that when I came, she had the ring, but she's already disconnected from the fiance, because you haven't seen him for how long? You haven't seen him for?
More than 6 years.
More than 6 years.
6 years?
Yeah. So it's not it's not a thing where when, you know, I came, she decided to say, okay, now pastor's here, let me now break up with my fiance. It wasn't like that. No, my wife is too disciplined and had integrity to ever go on that route. It's just a thing where it wasn't coincidence, it was, you know, in heaven's, you know, agenda, it was predestined that a time is coming that, you know, I will come to KLM, and, you know, and that the time came, and that's when, you know, she saw me. So she already had it in mind to even leave the fiance and move on with her life. Just that when she, you know, decided to do that, I think that came 2 weeks.
A few weeks after.
Yeah.
Did you know that she currently got
left the fiance?
No, when we started speaking, then she let me know. But remember, we never started speaking straight away as, you know, individuals that can see if it can work. It was a thing we was really talking a lot, right? Communicating, because we both, you know, led the youth ministry.
Right.
So we was doing, you know, ministry, you know.
Did she let you know, like, what's happening in her personal life while she were friends?
Yes, whilst we're friends. So when we start getting a bit closer, she now let us know. She now let me know.
Friend?
That
the friend?
This is the situation between me and my fiance. And I was even giving her advice, I believe, right? Giving her advice. I had no idea that, you know, my wife, because remember, I never came to looking for a woman to marry. I came, you know, to serve God. I know.
Man, if you want a girl, be their friend, be their shoulder to cry on.
Okay, look, guys, this is my problem with women, right? Now, as a man, when we tell you not to have male friends, we know what we're talking about. And I'm not saying that this is the example, but here we are. Now, the male friend that you have, whether it's university, in the workplace, all of these guys, they just want to sleep with you. If you don't know, I'll tell you. These guys just want the coochie, especially the church guys. They're the ones that want it the most.
Listen,
if you're ready to respect yourself, please just know how you're managing that male friend. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying just know what you're doing.
If you're Paul's woman, you can't have no friends.
So, you know, we said you didn't see your fiance for 6 years. Without going into too much detail, he wasn't in prison, was he?
No, it was a distance relationship.
Long distance relationship?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
6 years is a long time.
6 years.
I guess it was even more than that.
Very long distance. Where's he living in space?
Was he in this country?
No.
So why did you travel to see him?
I was living on the moon.
I saw him once. And then he was planning to travel to the UK. But the visa thing was kind of difficult, so he had to go to a different country.
For you to go to another country as well to meet there?
It was just too much, but then in this period of time, I just believe that throughout the whole process, because at some point I started asking myself, is this meant to be? Because, you know, God can bring a man into your life when he's somewhere in the world and you're in the other part of the world. And I was very young then, and I didn't know God to that extent where you have to ask God, is this the man for me? I saw him, I liked him, and then we started dating, you get what I mean? And then from there, we got engaged. So there was no inquiring from the Lord if that was my husband or not. But when I got into ministry, I realized that something is wrong somewhere, because it looks like God is not in this thing. So I started praying more and
I let religion go when I was like 13, but it's interesting
signs were there that he wasn't meant to be from the things that he was saying and stuff like that. I just knew that if we had married, we would clash, because I was so much into ministry and he wasn't in support of ministry like that. It was like, why are you always in church? For me, these were like red flags. Like, I've gone too far for to now marry a man to say, you're going to stay at home. I'm an ordained pastor. I'm already, you know, I'm sold out for Jesus. So anything that's good to do, I need a man that will support me in that aspect. So it took a lot of prayer before I literally came into the decision. A good man, no issues at all, looked after me, we looked after each other. Family, we love each other. Families are all known from my side, his side. You get me? So it was very difficult. So when I made up the decision and I had God that you need to let go, I literally cried for months, because I'm like, God, why would you let me be in this situation and then now tell me it's over? And the voice of God said to me, you never asked me. I never told you that was your husband. This was your own decision that you made, and you never inquired from me. Now that you're inquiring from me, I'm telling you what it is. So it's either you let go and allow me to bring you the right man, or you stick to something that I'm not into. But then when that happens, you are on your own. So nobody knew in my church apart from just one close friend. My bishop didn't know. It was just a battle I was fighting by myself. And nobody knew, because I wasn't crying publicly. I wasn't miserable, because I just knew that God always has the best for us.
It's noisy,
so if he says let go, it's because he has the best for me. So I just confided in this friend of mine, and we literally were praying so hard just to help me let go.
The only one that knew?
Yeah, after that friend.
Oh, okay. So he's not the friend that you're talking about?
No. It's a female friend. So this female friend was literally letting me. Her name is JT. She was literally helping me let go of the pain and the hurt, and just, you know, not running away from God, because like, God, you know, when you get to the point where you're blaming God, and God is saying, I'm not involved, because I didn't ask you to get into that. So when I now made that decision, the ring was there, because I didn't want questions asked. Like, why did you take your ring off? What's going on? Because, you know, you are in church, everybody knows that there's a man in your life, and all of a sudden there's no ring. Are you cheating on your fiancé? Stuff like that. So I wanted to avoid those kind of questions. So I just held on the ring. I just had it on. But it was over. My parents were aware, my mom was aware, because before I made the decision, I had to speak to them to say, this is the decision I've come to, this is what I have to do. I almost like, you're a grown woman. If this is what God is saying, I'm not that spiritual. You are into God more than me. Go ahead if it's going to make you happy in the long run. So parents were aware. My sisters were not even aware. Because I just didn't want questions. I don't want anybody to say,
this guy's killing me. I'm
God.
sorry.
I just wanted, God heard me, I'm going. But I had to let my parents know. So my parents, that friend, and that was it. Not even my bishop, because it's just long. So I was praying because it was painful. But it got to a time where I just, I spoke to him. He didn't want to let go. You know, if you let me go, I'm not going to marry another woman. I'm just like, I'm not going to fall for these tricks. You know, when God speaks, I move. There's no going back. And that was it. So when I made up my mind and said, this is it, before Prophet came, it was already over. But nobody knew. So when he now came and we became friends for a few months and we started talking, I remember him telling me, well, if we're going to be together, that ring has to go. I was like, whoa, okay, this man means business. I think from that day, that's when I just said, you know, with a heavy heart, I had to take the ring out and put it away.
You still had the ring, but you already... Okay, and then he now...
I said to her that how, if you want to take it to any, you know, level, you must take the ring off. Because you can't expect to want to embrace the new and hold on to the old.
I respect that. I hear that.
Yeah, so why many people can't experience anything new is because they hold on to the old.
Wisdom.
I mean, same point as you made, but I hear it.
Not consider the former things, but the things of the old. For I, God,
same point again.
Do a new thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes new things have been delayed because
you're holding on to
old things.
Yeah, I mean, he's making the same point over and over again.
So,
but yeah, I hear you, bro.
Well, I said that.
Wisdom. I like that.
Wisdom. Do you think that's necessary?
I always thought that Paul was the type of city guy. Suited, booted, quite conservative. When he reached out to my partner and I for advice, I thought to myself, okay. So Paul must have a off-grid type of edge to him, because from the way me and my partner live, it's definitely far from the norm. My partner and I work remotely. We're only in the country for 2 weeks out of most months. We're healthy, fit, and we're just living our best life.
That is the best life.
I think Paul could learn a lot from what we can tell him about our way of living.
I'm literally applying for remote jobs now.
Great.
Amazing.
Nice to be here.
Nice to have you here. So, you know, the reason why I've actually called for you guys to be here is because I actually want some advice, relationship advice. So I came across both of your Instagrams, and when I kind of look at your Instagram, it kind of gives me couple goals.
Man said couple goals.
This is me looking from the outside, right? You guys are traveling, you're staying in shape.
Lit.
And you both look like you're doing yoga or something. You know that? And you're just in your own element, and you're black.
I love that.
When I kind of look at it, I kind of see myself.
Goals.
Not to say if you wasn't black, I can't see, but you are black, I'm black too. So I can kind of, you know, relate to what you guys are doing. So that's the reason why I've kind of called you here. And I wanted to kind of ask you, just to kind of start things off smoothly, how did you guys get to where you are now, relationship-wise? What's going on? What's your story?
All right, so we met at a party when we were about 23 years old. It was fun, we were drinking, we were vibing, we were young. Didn't know what we were looking for, had no intentions of anything serious. So we got together, but we realised this ain't gonna work. He was on the roads, living a life that, I was a 9 to 5, I was working corporate.
I was on the roads.
I had a vision of what I wanted in life. And at that time, he wasn't there yet.
So in saying that, I thought, because along the way I was finding myself, and I thought, all right, this space, she's a great person. Like I've always said, she's 11, not 12 out of 10. But there was parts of my life where I needed to find myself, find my feet. Where am I going? What am I doing with this? I have a vision,
11, not 12 out of 10.
The reality of it wasn't making sense. We weren't aligning. So in that sense, I was like, all right, this doesn't make sense because I'm just going to hurt her in the long run. So let me get myself together and put what I need to put together. Then if everything can work, So in saying that, it worked because I found myself on It was like
a
a
talk show.
Talk show, yeah. And one of her best
My
friend,
closest friend,
was on there, and I was like, hold on, is that Shirley? She's like, no. I'm like, what? Like, you know. And she always said like, you two are gonna be together one day. And I thought, oh, not now. But I always had that thought in my head, and I've always thought about one day I need to like reconnect with Shay. I say it all the time to my brethren.
He manifested that verbally.
Literally.
She calls me up straight after the event. She's like, Shayla, you won't believe it. I just saw Miles, he's on stage. I started laughing because I was like, on stage.
Rapping, isn't it?
Rapping, I don't know, playing basketball on stage.
No. Okay.
No.
I'm joking.
So now he was on stage talking about relationships and where he had got to in life, because by then he was buying properties. He was doing a lot of stuff that I never saw at the time when we met when we were younger. So fast forward.
I know it's the origin story in that, but he's like, he just starts saying some wild
7 hours
shit.
straight at his house. Paul, at the end of the day, people change. If I had listened to half of the people that said to me, you don't want to do that. Miles is not the one. You're too good for him. X, Y, Z. If I listened to that, I wouldn't be in this seat today. I wouldn't be in the best relationship, the healthiest relationship that I know. So I'm grateful for the people that told me no, because I went against it. I followed my gut. I followed my heart, and I'm in the best situation I could have been in.
Done now.
Yeah, and I was just like, right now I've come together whole.
You're both whole.
Yeah.
Both of us were whole.
She was always 3/4 there when I was a quarter there before. But now we was both whole as individuals.
I like
so
that.
when we shared
wisdom,
what we had gone through and what we'd experienced and what we're on now, when I saw her face, I thought, yeah, I'm on stuff now, innit? She was always on stuff. And then when she told me what she was doing, I was like, what are the chances? But I'm a big believer in how if you put out there what you want, it can come to you. But there's always a feeling you have to feel when you put something out there. There's a difference between saying it and believing it. People think believing something, it's always going to happen. You have to know it. There's a difference. People have an idea that, they're believing.
Who's going to be the funniest thing in the show? I swear.
You have to know that feeling and have that feeling. It has to resonate with you on a subatomic level, and it has to hit every part of the cell. Every cell you have in your body has to resonate with that, and you have to think, okay, cool, this can happen. But
yeah, no, it's true. It's like, do you believe you have a mother, or do you know you have a mother? The difference.
Yeah.
You know you have a mum because you've seen her, but when you know something's going to happen in your future, then you know it has to happen because you know it.
Wait, I don't even know what that means.
Maybe a bit slow. You said you were on the roads. What does that mean?
What does that mean? You know what that means, fam.
You don't time.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say that. We can brush over that. But yeah.
I respect that. Don't glorify the thing.
In that space, I was able to find myself and be like, because put it like this, yeah, when you're in an environment, you have to learn how to adapt.
Yeah.
Because people think that, that place is just like madness every day. It's not. You can actually find peace. When you can find peace in the darkest of times, that's when you realize that, you know what?
Wisdom.
If I can find peace in the darkest of times, I know that light is, at the end of the tunnel.
Easy.
Which it can be.
Big facts.
So I learned how to sit with myself for time.
100%.
You're talking about bin, right?
I'm like my man still.
But you can also relate that to your life, your environment outside of, people see a hood or a ghetto and they're like, oh, okay, you have to be a certain way to live in that. You can be in peace within that hood. So you can. You can. If you have your own peace, you meditate every day, that could be your happiness.
Yeah, because what's this?
I want to see people got to pay,
Because the reality of it is, everyone thinks you go there, it's a write-off, you're done. But I swear to you, in that space, I was able to look at my whole life. Like, my mum passed when I was 4, 5. Unless you done it. But so I was able to look back at that and reflect, because I never really had time to reflect on that. Like in the household, sometimes within our people, right? Something happens, don't talk about it. Let's just brush it over.
Yeah.
In that space, I sat with myself and I was like, you know what?
He's spitting that rule.
This has happened, right? But I can make peace with this now, because it took me most of my life to actually accept that had happened. I'm going through school thinking, can't really tell people. Oh, Mars, what's up? Oh, where's your, why ain't your mum picking up? Oh, yeah, she's on holiday. I'm living in a lie, man. Consistently. So that was a spiritual awakening for me. Not just a physical happening, it was a spiritual awakening.
I like these
Through
two.
that, I saw so many things. Like, I'm not gonna go, of course, you deep into it, but yeah.
You needed that time.
You know what's interesting? Sometimes, right, similar situation, the girl wouldn't give the guy a chance if she knows where he's been. What's that about?
What's that about?
I had to give him a chance. My heart, my mind, my spirit, I knew I needed to give him a chance. So for me, I don't judge people based on their past. I never have and I never will. Because people change. Every year you're a new person. Who I was 5 years ago, I'm not today. And that was the same for him.
Yeah.
I literally saw the page turn.
Yeah.
Like, he is a different person. Like,
Let me just pause it for a second. This is why women, yeah, are a lot better than men in a lot of ways. Yeah, in a few ways, yeah. Women can shoot themselves in the foot expecting some men to change, yeah, and holding on to that hope. But it is that hope that can sometimes blossom into things like this, seeing the good in people. You understand? A lot of men, we're shallow a lot of the time. We don't really want to give women a chance. Oh, she was a hoe, or she was a J-bag. Oh, no, once a hoe, always a hoe. Yeah? Nah, this one here, she's basically saying, listen, I know where he came from. My friends told me where he came from. He's no good for you. And yet here we are, all these years later, and we're together. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Miles I knew, 9 years ago, 8 years ago, is not the Miles that is here in front of you now.
Big facts.
You know what's interesting? I believe he's quite genuine. He seems like a really nice guy. You seem like a nice girl. But generally speaking, sometimes in our community, right, when there's a girl that's, she's got a 9 to 5, she's got stuff going on, and she was dating like a bad boy, because what they say, every girl has her bad boy phase. That bad boy, even if he tried to rebrand, she won't give that guy the shot.
That's true.
It's true.
That's
it's true.
As a bad boy, ex-bad boy, sorry, how do you come back around to get that ex from that guy?
Because it was a lot of understanding who I am. Like, if you don't understand who you are, then there's no way you can move on with someone else. Because me not understanding, how can I then sit with this person
if you can't love yourself,
I don't understand myself? But I'm trying to understand them.
Yep.
When I mean, you know, you almost go through everything, you know, like in this community or this holistic community called like shadow work. You have to go through every chapter in your life and see what you can do to be a better person. It's not about where you are now, it's about where you're going. The reality of it is I can't change my past, and I never will, because that gave me the character who I am today. I can slot myself in situations and I can adjust. I can be around you in a corporate setting and sit there like, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Or I can be in the ends of stuff, ain't going to be you, and chat to the man them.
Yeah.
Or I can be around older folks.
Yeah.
I'm very...
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the ends, but...
There are people that are, some people that are vibrating quite low in the end.
Yeah.
And we're trying to vibrate at a level where you got to watch who you have around you, because if you don't, anyone could get in the wrong way. And you don't want that.
Me and him have been on a similar journey, so he's grown a lot.
People. Yeah. I think we're all equal. And I feel like whenever I kind of, well, not often, but when I do pass through the ends, right? The streets, nitty gritty, all of that. They love me.
Gritty.
And I welcome them and I accept them. Yeah. I'm not sure we're the same. All right, guys, so hear me out on this one, right? I feel like what's kind of wrong with our society sometimes? Sometimes when we make it, we want to kind of break out of the ends. And
that's the goal,
personally,
man.
I'm a man of the people. I don't believe in leaving the ends. We're supposed to come back to the ends to teach people how to develop and how to...
I hear
that. Just kind of make money, if you like, and then just run off and then say, oh, everyone in the ends is on a low vibration.
It's both.
Some people, they may be willing to vibrate on a higher level if there's people like us that can go back to actually help them and show them the way.
It's both.
This is just my perspective.
So I agree with Paul, yeah. I think it's very important once you make it, you give back to the community 100%. All I want to do is blow, guys. Pause. But all I want to do is blow on YouTube, you understand? That's all I want to do, is to blow on YouTube, yeah, and be able to put other people on. But what they're talking about, yeah, the difference is that there's people in the ends, there's people in the hood, yeah, that they're not, no matter what you teach them, their vibrations are low. They put emphasis on different things that you're trying to grow out of, you understand? So it's like, they're not saying they're turning their back on the ends, but at the end of the day, not everyone, you can't take the whole hood with you. You feel me? So it's one of them ones. But Paul, I like that though. I like that mentality. You want to give back to the ends. I feel you, man.
But it's like this. We've come from a place way before the ends where we were kings and queens, right? So let's take it away from the ends. The ends is what we were placed into. Right? If we go further back, we're on pyramids, mate. We're all over the place. Everything we've created, from technology to designer clothes, has come from us, right? We need to remember that, not the ends. The ends is a passing. It's like, it's not the journey, it's a spanner in the works. You know, people think slavery is us. We've all come from a place of slavery. No, it's just a spanner in the works. It's a journey we went through to experience more.
He's spitting that
ends, nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong with the ends.
We're both from the ends.
We're from the ends. I can still go back, yo, help, da-da-da. But for me, it's just like,
come on.
I'm in a space now where I don't need to be there.
Big facts.
I see the world as my end. I want to visit Brazil.
Wisdom.
Like we did. Mexico, like we did. Atlanta, Miami, all these places, Antigua. Visit all these places and be like, you know what? We're people of the earth, not just restricted to the ends. We are so much more than that. Just because we grew up on council estates or around that doesn't mean that we are that. You know, it's a part of the journey. And we're always going to be excelling, and we should always excel.
Don't you spitting that real, you know, try.
You see, when my missus told me that Paul reached out for relationship advice, it makes so much sense. At the end of the day, my girl has been down for me and I've been down for her, and most relationships would definitely crumble if they saw a fraction of what we've been through. At the end of the day, I'm not really into this social thing, but I do what I can to support my girl, so I'm going to be open and honest, also vulnerable, so Paul can understand what real love is.
Man said I'm not on the social thing, yeah, but let me do a six episode show, fam. Come on, man.
You know, it's great to meet you guys.
I hear it though, man's on tag for some shit.
For YouTube, right? So literally, you know, someone told me about, you know, your YouTube page. Had a look through, and obviously I haven't watched it in depth, but I've seen parts of your stories. Crazy, like literally ride or die type of vibes. You know, that love and hip hop American type of vibes. That's the vibe I get, and that's why I just felt like, you know what, it would be interesting for me to kind of call you guys to get advice from you, relationship advice specifically. You know, I feel like, in my opinion, you guys are technically a successful couple. So long story short, you know, I wanted to ask you guys a few questions. And I haven't actually watched your YouTube myself. So I wanted to ask, how did you guys start dating? Tell me from the beginning. What's the story?
Do you know what? I don't know how honest you're trying to be, but basically,
let's be honest.
In the time that me and him started speaking, not long after, like, you got into trouble.
He's a bad boy.
He was a bad boy. I think that's what I like.
So basically, I got arrested for attempt to supply class A. Like, my solicitor, how do I explain my solicitor? My solicitor
he's trapping.
You see the solicitors that you see that on TV? You see that? That type of solicitor. You know what I'm saying? So obviously I rang him, he called me, just said, yo, you know what to do, boom, 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 no comment.
I said, boom, 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 you know what to do.
You know what to do. I was like, say no more, no comment. He come now, got bailed, and he's giving me a lift back. So now I'm using his phone to ring the man. I'm like, yo, I literally just lost everything. You get what I'm saying? Like, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't go back to my mum, dad. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't go back to her. I ain't got nothing.
On this specific day, we've woken up and he said, here, take money. I'm dropping you to the nail shop. When you're done, call me. I'll come pick you up. And I'll take you back.
She likes that treatment still.
I said, fantastic. I've gone to a nail shop now. I've got my nails done.
Love that.
I've rang him. No answer. I said it's a lie. I've rang him again. No answer. Ringing him. He's not answering. So I've gone back to my mum's house. Ringing him. No answer. I'm here thinking, yeah, he's with someone. It's me. I'm a fool. He's with someone. I got a phone call at 3 a.m. because I didn't even close my eyes. I couldn't close my eyes. I'm thinking, where is he? He's picked up the phone. I'm like, where are you? He's at the police station. I said, for what? He said, there's intent to supply class there. I said, God.
Bomba.
And then that's when he was like, yeah, they literally took everything. Like, I've got nowhere to go. I was like, come to my mum's.
Okay, ladies, look, at the end of the day, you know, I can't go off their experience. I can only go off what I know, right? I know obviously I'm receiving advice, but I think I should be able to say my piece too. Man
prefers giving advice.
If your man is not answering his phone, it doesn't mean he's with another girl.
Yes.
He could be busy, He could be sleeping.
It's not everyday cheating.
Or
man.
maybe he could just be in jail. That's simple.
Man,
But if you got arrested for intention to supply, then they released you.
He was on bail.
For a year and a half.
And then you went to...
Yeah, so basically, they let you take 1 or 2 numbers out of your phone and whatnot. So I took my brethren's phone, my brethren's number, and I took her number out of my phone. So my solicitor now is giving me a lift back to Reading because they took me to Newbury police station. So I'm getting a lift back to Reading from my solicitor, and obviously he's got all the man's number anyway. So I'm ringing all the man, I'm like, yo.
I went to Reading Uni, shout out.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I got arrested. Yeah, I got arrested. Like, you know what I'm saying? I need someone to stay. Get me? I got my bar stay in the whip till the next morning. I'm active again. But, bro, you know, I'm just gonna tell the truth. Like, I ran my break and he's like, yo, I'm with a thing right now. I'm like, brother, say less. I'll stay in your whip, and then tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? I'm gone. You get me? Obviously, it's me and my Cody. I was like, no. Like, yeah, that actually, do you know what he said? I'll ring you back. I was like, brother, I just got arrested. No, but I just got arrested. How can you gonna ring me back?
Man said
You're
ring
gonna
you
ring my
back.
solicitor's number back. Obviously, I'm not gonna be with him. But I'm trying to explain that to him. He's like, I'll ring you back. I was like, you know what? Forget it.
Nah, that's not a good brethren, man.
Like, come. You see when you ring the man's phone and they don't answer, and you ring someone who you've been talking to for only a month, and they go above and beyond for you.
It's real shit, man.
She's the one.
So it's like 3 a.m. I have no car, but I'm like, no, like, I'm not going to let you to sleep on the street. So I went to go and wake up my mum. I said, Mum, I need your car keys. She was like, why? I was like, I'll stay with you tomorrow. My friends need to stay here. I don't know if it's because she was half asleep or what, but she gave me the keys and I came. At the end of the day, you know when you're with a real one, she'll do certain things to show that she's down for you. And if she's willing to take you to her mum's house,
go on, man,
well,
Miss Cameroon.
everything that it needs to say.
I hear that still.
You both met.
The hair looks nice and red as well.
No, we just knew each other.
We knew each other from
young, but that's when we first started speaking.
So that's kind of how you guys met.
Podcast host and writer Solomon Bucci posted a tribute to his fiancée that caused a backlash on social media. It reads, not the most beautiful woman, neither are you the most intelligent woman, but I've chosen never to find perfection in anyone else. He later clarified it by saying, it may not sound like a compliment, but it's a realistic base for love.
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Hi.
I know what he means, but...
So basically, obviously, Solomon, we've interacted a number of times on Instagram Live. We've gone back to back. You've dragged me a few times, even from before, but we're here now.
I've dragged you as well, big bull baby, you know.
Obviously, I believe that you're misunderstood. I think that you're actually a really cool guy from what I've got to know. But at the same time, I think you're tapped at the same time.
Man said I think you're tapped.
That's cool.
Yeah, but it's just subjective. Generally, when I speak to couples and ask them for advice, like I'm asking you, I would always ask about the background. But in this case, it's a bit different. I want to get into the nitty-gritty, if you don't mind.
Okay, go for it.
So we know these are real couples then. These are very real couples still.
No. I used to be a feminist.
Why?
I mean, I was clueless then.
So, you being a feminist makes you clueless, or?
Well, like, modern day feminism is absolutely insane.
Why did you become a feminist in the first place?
Yeah, because I really, obviously, like, my background, right, there's a lot of, like, marginalization of women, oppression, and all of that stuff, right? So, obviously, I believe in gender equality, but
that's what feminism is, really. If you believe women are equal. It's the extreme feminism that I've got a problem with. The same way I've got a problem with extreme masculinity.
It was no longer about, like, gender equality. It became more like demonization of men.
Okay, I understand that.
And destruction of family values.
Fair.
So I was just like, and the Lord called me. Yeah, why are you laughing? No, for real.
That's just.
No, the Lord, there are a lot of women out there who call themselves feminists, and when you look at them really deeply, you see that they are scarred, they need therapy, and you don't want to bring such women into your family. Basically, you don't want to build a family with them because they are not even ready to build a family. They are just so combative, and women like that too. They don't believe in submission. They don't believe that a man actually leads. They believe that they are same with a man, and that brings so much strife into the family. So I'm just saying, marry a woman who has family values, who's submissive,
who's submissive,
who's homely, and at the same time who's intelligent and all of that good stuff. I'm not saying marry, a woman who's a servant. I'm just saying.
I don't necessarily agree with all that, but each to their own.
Kind of like Christian Eve.
Yeah.
Kind of,
the Lord actually told
me, I get it.
Yeah. That this is not in line with his values, right? Anyway, the feminist movement, not gender equality.
Yeah.
Because gender equality, obviously, as Christians, we are Christians.
Yeah.
We are all equal, but that does not apply in marriage. I mean, we are still equal in marriage, but the man is the head.
Yeah. Definitely.
What do you think about that?
No, I definitely agree because as Christians, like, we take the Bible as our, like, the final authority.
I've got no problem with people that agree with
every
this, to be honest. I've got no problem with that.
Matter, including marriage. And as he said, the man is the head. So, yeah, like, that, I submit to him.
Fine.
And he loves me as Christ loved the church. So,
fine.
Loves
Keep submitting.
Let's say
WWE style.
Your man is walking a plank. Remember walking a plank? Yeah. Like, like if you're on a boat and there's the plank.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if he's holding your hand, both of you are walking to the edge of the plank. You know what's about to happen. Would you still let the man lead you in there?
Yes. So, Paul, before you can get to the stage where you deserve to be submitted to, you need to have spent time in the presence of God. You need to have a relationship with God for yourself so that she can trust that you hear God for yourself, and she can trust that you are able to actually receive the plans and the purposes of God for your family. Until you reach that stage,
I actually understand what she's talking about. I don't agree. It's not where I want my life to be, but I understand the point she's trying to make.
I don't know what. In the example that you gave, obviously that's a very extreme example, but I trust his leadership because I know that he is submitted to God. And that's why I believe it's very, very important that you choose very carefully who you submit to in marriage, because if the person...
The God thing's great, but we need more ratchet people on the show, man.
God, is filled with the Holy Spirit, then you can be rest assured that even if they do make mistakes, the Holy Spirit will call them back.
Women, do not listen to this girl. Trust me. Think about it. If you're in the same religion as your man, you're guided by the same spirit, and that guy is leading you to a crazy place, and you want to follow him there based on the spirit, the same spirit that's guided you, you now want to follow his spirit. Life doesn't work like that. This is just my perspective. I'm not saying that you shouldn't listen to your man or shouldn't let him be the leader, but if he's not leading you in the right direction, it's not left up to you to pray that he goes in the right direction.
It's all relative what the right direction is.
It's left up to you to leave. He doesn't have to lead you into debt before you know that you're in the wrong place. He doesn't need to do even worse before it gets there. I don't want to go into it, but ladies, you know what I'm talking about. Do not listen to this girl.
He might as well be the guy giving advice still.
Are you able to call him up on his mistakes?
No, that's not necessarily what it means.
Yeah.
No, I'm just asking. Are you able to do that?
Yeah, of course. Submission isn't. It's not like. It's not
repression.
Yeah.
It's not like repression.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean I don't have a voice. I still have a voice. I can still correct him in love, obviously with respect. But at the end of the day, the final decision is up to him.
Yeah. Okay, look, I can see that you're quite
sounds ideal.
Yeah.
Where do I sign up?
You all want that, right? At the same time, Mr. Man's made quite a few mistakes. He's been cancelled maybe 2 to 3 times. He made a big mistake, which I'll get into a bit later on, to be fair. So I kind of asked myself, why him? Let me take it back a bit. How did we meet?
So we actually met through one of our mutual friends. He was on the phone with her, and then, I was just being my usual, goofy self in the background. And then we just started talking. And yeah, that was literally the rest is history.
At the time, how many followers did you have?
Probably almost 200k or
200k.
That's a lot.
I didn't know. I didn't know about him.
She didn't know me.
Yeah.
Like, obviously,
and I
don't know this guy. 200k.
Yeah, you were actually following me on Twitter, but then you were like.
But I'm not even active on my Twitter account.
But she didn't know. She's heard of me. But she wasn't like, oh, well, son of a Gucci, that kind of thing. No, she wasn't.
I don't really know much
So
about
it wasn't really about the socials.
How soon did you know about his socials?
I think he sent me some covers that he did. And then I kind of went on it, and then I saw that, okay, he has quite a large following. I was like, okay, interesting.
Okay.
Solomon, you want me to be real with you?
Okay.
In London, right, sometimes some girls, they can just chase you for clout.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Very true.
Yeah. Even in Nigeria. Everywhere, I think.
Trust me. A London girl can date me for clout.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
What do you think about
Definitely
that?
not my wife.
That's
How
what
do you
that
know
matters.
though?
Yeah, because like when I met her, you know, before I met her, I've spoken to other women, right? And one thing I really hated was any woman that was fangirling me. I didn't want to be put on that pedestal
200K.
to be like that guy who has been idealized. So, you know, if I make mistakes, it's just like, you know how celebrities, well, I don't know, but you know how celebrities are actually like, you know...
I know a bit.
That's a bit.
But you know how celebrities are being idealized, so... And I really didn't want that. I wanted someone who was going to love me even if I had just 0 following. Right? I wanted someone who was going to stay with me even if nobody else
I like this guy, to be fair. He might have some mentalities here and there. I don't know. I haven't heard it yet.
Okay, guys,
he's right.
You know what? So far, have I learned much? Well, I feel like they've got quite a few interesting stories. It's kind of good getting to know them, just to kind of understand more about their background. Obviously, some couples are just annoying, but I don't think it's personal. I just think, as you guys can see, they're a bit wired. But at the same time, some of them are quite cool, seem to be okay so far, and I think the journey's going all right. What do you guys think?
Wow. So that's the end of the episode, yeah? Or is there a trailer for the next episode? Oh, next week, here we go.
Do you have a type?
I don't have a type, I said this from day one when I met her.
Well, he doesn't, because the girls that he used to...
What? Oh, my ex-relationships? Yeah,
they were not black.
That are white. Like,
all of them
was
were
French and Brazilian. One was Greek. And now you. So...
African.
So you've got real jungle fever.
He really does. He likes all the flavors.
You know what it is? I've been with, and I've hooked up and I've dated black girls, mixed race girls, Asian girls, but it just so happened that the relationships were just with white girls.
But why though?
It was. Do you know what it was? Where I grew up, I grew up in a predominantly white area.
Yeah.
Like my sixth form was predominantly white. My university predominantly like white. So, and at that age, like that's what surrounded by. Obviously, I still found black girls attractive.
But then why didn't out of those black girls, there was not one that you were like...
I'll be completely honest, when you want someone, when you're young, and you don't want the girl like challenging you as much.
What? Wow, I'm looking forward to next week's episode still. Wow. Damn, that was a lot of work, guys, sitting through that with all these noise in the background. So apologies if there's bare noise in the background. I'm sorry. Hopefully it's not like that going forward. It probably will be, because I'm literally traveling the world right now. I'm in Southeast Asia. I'm currently in Bali. But going back to the episode, it was a decent episode. I think we got introduced to the couples. It was fine. I'm looking forward to the controversy like that, or not controversy, but some. Ooh, what does he mean by that? Ooh, I understand what he means by that. I've been in both black and white areas, but definitely white areas for sure. And but I love my queens, man. I really do. But that being said, I understand what Shaq means. I don't really know where he was about to go with it in terms of like the submissive side of things. I'm not too sure where he was going with that, but I'm looking forward to that as well. But yeah, I think it was a little teaser. It's an introduction. We get an introduction to the couples. My favourite couple so far is probably the ex-roadman who travels the world, works remotely with his girl. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing the rest. But guys, this is a long ass video. It's going to take me a lot of time to edit. So let me know your thoughts, guys. I hope you stayed until the end. I'll be back next week, and I'm going to do a couple videos as well with my boy when I'm out here on holiday. Yeah, I've got a lot of content to try and get out, but ultimately I'm just trying to live my life as well, man. But hopefully you can stay tuned. But guys, like the video, let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you lot soon. Peace.